second half, sit down on it. From the deep place in my heart, deep place I'll work. So it sounds like it's a little bit rushed. Yeah? Okay. So pick up on the second half. My heart, deep place, I worship, like you. From that deep place in my heart, deep place, I worship everything I am. Hello, welcome. My name is Canute, and today we're in Latoya's world, Latoya HD. We're just going to go right tonight, no fancy intro, no nothing. How you doing, Latoya?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm wonderful. It's so nice to finally be in this space with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. Latoya has been busy all over the world, you know, whether it's on the island of Jamaica where you're from, and you tour extensively for many years and do a lot of things. I don't think this one-part interview or maybe two parts could ever condense what you do in the space. But what do you do? Tell us who you are.
All right. So, Latoya is a singer. Latoya is a background vocalist. Latoya is a vocal trainer, vocal arranger, producer, vocal, what do you call it? Well, I'm a teacher by profession. So that makes a lot, so you know that I'm in training.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of training. I'm very big on worship. And that's one of the things that I'm very, very passionate about. So I train praise and worship teams, choirs. I talk to churches and so forth about praise and worship and excellence in worship, excellence in music ministry. That's one of the things that I'm very, very, very passionate about, excellence in general.
So much so you have your conference that you put on every year. You're 2 years in?
4 years.
4 years in.
Next year is going to make 4 years.
What's the name of it?
Heartcry Worship.
Yeah. Heartcry. Tell us about that and how that came about.
So Heartcry Worship Conference came about out of the need to see more excellent worship in churches, to see persons portray what it is that God has blessed them with. This gift of music is no joke. It's used across the world to influence people and to deal with the emotions and speak to the emotions and the parts of your life that words and so on cannot even express. Music does that. And it's the same thing in our churches, in the kingdom. Music at its highest level brings glory to God. And mediocrity is no excuse. Mediocrity is no level that God is a part of. And so we should, as kingdom people, as Christians, I don't expect for us to settle there. So out of that came the need to do this conference. Also, as music practitioners and praise and worship leaders, we are a part of the service Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And we know that the service doesn't start on the Sunday, but it starts from the Monday evening.
Yes.
Right? Yes. So rehearsals and planning and the preparation and all of that goes into making a service on a Sunday or on a Saturday. What it is, it takes a lot. It takes a toll on the body, it takes a toll on the mind, it takes a toll on the spirit. Heartcry Worship Conference provides that oasis for music practitioners to come once a year and to get poured into. Because the truth is, we don't get poured into as much as we have to pour out on a weekly basis. And so it's that little time away where they come and they get refreshed and replenished and they hone their crafts and learn more and connect and network with other persons in the kingdom, persons who are a little more experienced than they are, and they can learn some things from them. They can connect from them when it is that they feel low and down and feel like they want to throw in the towel. They can call one and say, hey, I need some backup. Yeah, I need some backup. And, we're there to pray for them, to help to guide them along the way. So that is how it came about. And it has been, this year made 3 years, 2020 is going to make 4 years. And it's been going strong, growing every year. And I'm just praying and hoping that it continues to grow.
You are a multifaceted individual, a blessed being on this earth. Like, you're one of the closest persons to me. And why Latoya is so close to me, Latoya is one of the first persons that actually showed me a chord or showed me how to play, my little ping pong stuff that I started out 20 years ago producing the scroll. And
the scroll?
Yes,
she's
wearing her t-shirt. Thank you, please. She'll try to get points, right? But Latoya is, she lists a lot of things that she does and who she is, but she's just music just oozes out of her, and you teach me for play basically, and so I wanted to talk to you on this program because you're always on the back end of stuff, whether it's the back end of studio and stuff, and you have an extensive knowledge of technical. And so I want to talk to you about the technical stuff from the vocal standpoint and how that relates to audio, and just, but from like vocalists. And so for just jump right into it, before we purposely got SM57.
Oh my.
These were the original
This
vocal
is where
mics.
it started.
And so I wanted to talk to the vocalist, and then from the vocalist standpoint.
All right. So in preparing to do a recording as a vocalist, you have to, first of all, you need to warm up. Before you come to the session, you need to warm up the voice. Do your lip rolls. Keep lubricated, as in keep the vocal cords lubricated.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So you drink you drink a lot of water. A lot of liquids keep you hydrated. That's the word. And mentally prepare yourself for what it is that you're going to do. If you're coming to do a lead, what does that lead require? Yeah, if it's a reggae tune that you're going to be working on, or it's a pop tune, if it needs that raspy tone. And there are some singers, I remember there's this particular singer, he says that when he wants a raspy tone, he goes and he catches a cold, so that he can have that raspy tone. And if he needs a clean tone for that particular song, he waits until that cold wears off before he voices it, so that he can capture that real tone. From a spiritual perspective, you pray about it. You focus your mind on what it is that you're going to be singing. You get the words before and so forth. When you come to do the lead, the mic that you're using is very important. Now, the SM57 is good for, stage, and SM58, the Shure mic, is good for stage. When it comes on to recording, no, you're going a more high end. You're looking at condenser mics that you're going to be needing, and you work along with the engineer to ensure that the mic fits the tone of the song, fits the tone of your voice, and he EQs the mic to match that. Yes. If you're one of those that likes to get a little reverb or a little delay on your mic in the recording process to help to give you a vibe, then you work with your engineer for that. If you're one of those that like a flat tone and you like to hear the raw voice, in fact, we have so much technology nowadays. You go through Avalon, you go through all of those preamps and stuff like that. So you work with your engineer to get the best tone to make you feel comfortable behind the mic. Now, studio is so different from stage. It's very different from stage, because on stage you get away with certain things. In studio, it doesn't work. It picks up the very air that you breathe. It picks up everything. It picks up every, bit of phlegm that may be in your voice. It picks up whatever crack may come up, even though we have technology that can, clean those up. But your aim is to get the best performance of the song as best as possible, and then technology will do the rest. Don't try to just say, oh, I'm coming in, nah, and technology can't, oh, there is autotune, oh, there's Melodyne, oh, no. That's not what music is about. That's not what production is about. Yeah? You need some raw talent.
She said it. She said it. You need some raw talent. How do one know they can sing? Is it just the bathroom, the bathroom singer that feels that, I can start a singing career? Or, like, how do you identify singers that go on the road with you, or, that you could say, hey, this person really has a really good voice, but with a little training? How you identify that?
One, their intonation, the tone of their voice, their ability to hear music, their ability to hear notes and pitches, their ability to switch between pitches, and how well they do that, their ability to hear harmony and reproduce harmony. So all of those things. So if you're tone deaf, meaning that there's some form of disconnect, then you know that you have a serious problem. But otherwise, I would say that you're trainable. And with the work of a vocal trainer and constant practice, there is hope. Yes, there is hope.
So there is hope for you if you're not tone deaf.
There is, there is
Latoya
hope.
can resurrect your deafness and,
Listen.
But, it's sometimes you find the diamond in the rough, sometimes you find
the jackpot.
And some people just never did know because they never did practice it before, but them have something in there, whether it's
some
a
of them
raspy
just
voice.
by hearing them speak, you can tell.
What do you do for fun? No, forget that. I don't want to know what you do for fun. I want to know.
That's a hard question.
What's the fun thing to do in studio and what's the fun thing to do on stage for a vocalist? What vocalists look forward to?
Well, for me as a vocalist, on stage and in studio, creating harmonies.
Yeah.
When I create harmonies, or when I'm singing with a group or doing background vocals and stuff, and you hear the harmony, it lock and it tight and it's sweet.
Yeah. It feels light up.
It just, and it rests so easily on the ears, and it just comes across so, oh my gosh. Yes, that is one of the most fun things for me, musically, when harmonies just come together and they're on point and they're on key. That's one of the things that hinders my worship, I must confess. If I go somewhere and the harmony is off, it's like it just
With them eye lock tight and them outstretched.
It just kind of nudges me. I have to be very focused, But that's a fun thing for me, creating harmonies.
And then on stage.
On stage is the same.
When the music lick you and everything, right?
Yeah, and also if it is that I'm directing, if I'm directing a group or a choir, and they execute. Or even if I'm doing vocal production on stage, there's a lead there, and I am, the vocal producer or vocal director for the event. Then and you hear it being executed properly, then you know that it touches somewhere in my heart.
So how does tech play into that? Like when you're on the road, because you have this extensive background, I keep saying extensive because I think you're like one of the fastest learners ever. You can run your Pro Tools session, you take your own tracks,
I run it better in Logic.
Okay, all right. Boo-hoo. Me did teach you Pro Tools. What happened?
You taught me Nuendo.
Oh, okay. All right. it should use anyways.
Right.
How you find like interacting with tech guys, engineers and stuff to execute or to express what you want?
the it's a joy actually. It makes life so much easier to be able to tell an engineer, take off some of the highs off my mic, give me some low mid, take off the high pass, and that kind of a thing, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. It makes life a lot easier, more than just kind of a thing, or
Yeah.
take off it wants some
It muddy.
it muddy. It it
It a
wants
ring.
you know to be able to speak their language
Yeah.
makes life easier for both of us. And so that's one of the things I church. I still need to brush up on the frequencies and this KB and that. I'm still learning,
Yeah.
but that works. That works, and it's very important as a vocalist to be able to speak that language.
Yeah.
It shows a level of professionalism, one.
Yeah.
It shows that you're interested in your craft. Yeah. It shows that you're not just a fly-by-night, that you know what you're about, and people take you seriously. When you can articulate or speak the language, use the jargons that are used in the industry. So
And it
yeah.
eliminates tension, because then when you can't articulate
You
or you
get
can't
frustrated.
you get frustrated and the engineer gets frustrated, and it feels like this, you don't know what you want kind of a thing.
Right.
I'm gonna go right tonight. Gospel. Gospel music. Why gospel? You've stuck with it over the years.
Because that's where I think God has placed me. In the same token, I don't limit myself, because, as you would say, my extensive background, I consider myself a kingdom person, a kingdom ambassador. And being a kingdom ambassador, you're able to cross borders. You get the respect both in gospel and in secular, because music is music. And when you operate at a particular standard, whether it's gospel or not, you operate at a standard and you are treated and respected as such. And so as a result, I can do a cabaret set, and I don't feel like I'm sinning myself. Yeah. Or so whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm portraying my craft, which is my voice, and I do it with a level of excellence as best as I possibly can. I'm not there yet, but that's what I strive for on a daily basis. Yeah. So gospel really is where the Lord has placed me in terms of emphasis, but that is not what it's limited to.
Where do you see gospel music going? Them said this whole going into this new decade and all that stuff. Where do you see it going, and where do you see yourself?
All right, where I see myself is being able to speak to the nations, being able to proclaim God's love, God's word, and his excellent standard in the gift that he has given to me. My endeavor is to continue to learn, is to continue to hone this craft of music, of vocal production, of vocal training, to become a guru at it, to be so good at it that I leave a legacy for, years to come. Where gospel music is going is very dependent on the people who are portraying it. Where it is now, it is very, current and all of that, and we're working with it. But once the message remains undiluted, then I'm good. Then we'll be good. Once we start to compromise, then that is where problems will come, and that is where it will become diluted. But my hope as to where I would love to see gospel music go is to be able to cross borders, to be able to reach the length and breadth of this earth with the undiluted gospel.
Do you think that the gospel artists nowadays, they should spend some time to learn about the craft much more about singing and from the technical standpoint so they can have that conversation to know what,
Definitely.
and not just really just show up at studio and just, hey, turn on my mic
Definitely,
and me sing.
definitely,
That will go
definitely.
a long way.
If you take your craft seriously, then those things are expected of you. And the higher you go in the industry, the higher you go in your career, it should propel you to operate, at a higher standard. So you start out with a bachelor's degree, you operate at bachelor's degree level, then you go ahead and you get a master's. You cannot operate at bachelor's degree with a master's. And if you go on to a PhD, then as you grow, as your vocabulary grows, as your knowledge grows, then it's supposed to bear fruit.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to see the fruit.
And Latoya lives by this. She always seek to get knowledge and always seek to better herself. And, obviously we're encouraging you that's watching to do that, and not just to just say, well, yeah, this is all I know. Like we're talking about the people with the talents in the Bible. This is all I know, or this is all I have, and it's nothing. It is something, to use that. What you do for fun? What you do for
That's
honor?
a hard question. That's a very hard question.
Creative people don't do nothing for fun. Isn't that something that
I
you're creating
sleep.
fun? You sleep? You work so hard. You work so hard. What kind of music you listen to? I know, but you have to tell them.
I listen to reggae music. Yeah, I love some good reggae. I listen to calling names though. I listen to people like Megan Trainor.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten into, that style.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. There's always Kirk Franklin. My ultimates, CC Winans. You know that. CC Winans, the Whitney Houstons, the Michael Jacksons, the Mariah Careys. Those are my vintage, go-tos. But I'm learning more and more that you keep current. You try and listen to new stuff and stay on top of what's going on in the industry. So I listen very widely, as best as I can. Not just to gospel as you would have heard before, but as widely as possible. I don't listen to music for fun. Not really
You listen
for
to reverse
fun.
engineer.
Yeah.
That's not
because
fun.
it's work.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to harmonies, I'm listening to the production, I'm listening to. So how can I sound like that? What do I
So
need
listening
to
to
do?
learn.
Yeah, I'm technically listening. For the most part, it's very rare that I listen to music for just listening sake. Yeah, I'm getting into reading more. Yeah, cool. Reading more, reading books, listening to audiobooks. Well, there you go. Or I go swim.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I've gotten to the gym. Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's a new thing.
So that's fun? Okay.
That's a new thing. That's a new thing.
I need to get in there. So hell of a... Do you think enough women are playing a dominant role in Jamaican gospel music?
Wow. That's a tough one.
Take your time. You have all the time in the world.
I think it's cyclical. Yeah. You will have a time when you have a number of women on the forefront, and then you have a time when there are just no women to be found. So it's cyclical. And when they do come up, they come out and they shine, and then afterwards, nothing, So I would love to see it on a more consistent basis. Let's put it that way. Then, when the men in gospel are a little more stable than us women. I'm sure that there are other factors involved. The fact that as women, even though we're artists and so forth, we still have to be wives. We still have to be mothers. Yes, we still have to deal with aftercare. We have to breastfeed after we come off stage and all these things. So there are a lot of other factors as opposed to just the men who, they play their role and they can go out and things can still happen at home while they're away. So I think that is probably one of the major contributing factors that we have to bear in mind. But at the same time, the talent, I think men take the career a little more seriously than women in general. There are a few women who will come up and they will push through and they will, and they will make their mark in the industry. But there are others who just, surface, and then come up and then you don't see them again.
What you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for excellence.
Wow. You're my second guest that says that thing.
I want to be remembered for excellence. I want to be remembered as one who is a stickler for excellence, one who actually can portray that, and one who exemplifies that, one who can write books on excellence in worship, excellence in vocal production, and people will have it to read for years and years to come, and so forth. That is really what I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered as one who advocates for excellence in worship, in the churches, for the standard of music in our churches, to raise, for the bar to be raised. It's so dear to my heart. I'm going to try my best not to get overly emotional, but the Lord deserves our best, and if it is that he mandates us with the responsibility of leading his people into his presence, do it with excellence. Do it with the best that you've got, and don't settle for what society says is okay. Don't settle for what the budget says is okay. Reach higher. Invest as best as you can, so that you can reap the rewards, and God will honor you a little bit. And if you take a little bit serious, trust me, he will bless you with little more and little more until.
Well, I am looking forward to your album. I know it's coming out.
Yes.
I have the privilege to work on this album.
He would have
privilege
to.
and honor. And it's such an eclectic, I won't give her much, but it's such an eclectic body of work. And I can't wait for our viewers to hear it and probably deconstruct some of the mixes. Just because, you'll hear from the technical side of, how harmonies are constructed, and just how Latoya do our thing, and so just keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, and I know a lot of people are, and we just look forward to much more from you, and your next installment of your worship conference. Anything else you want to tell me? Any accolades, any awards, any nominations, or anything like that?
I'm looking forward to all of those.
Some that you have already. You want to tell us? All right, we're not put up on the spot anymore.
Remember. But and you would know me that those things are not necessarily the.
That's how the kingdom work.
I just work. But next year should be a very, very memorable year for Latoya HD. The album comes out next year. Heartcry Worship next year is going to be very memorable as well. I won't give away the theme and stuff yet. Just stay tuned to my pages and stuff, and you'll get all of that information in very short order. What I can tell you is that it's going to be February 29, 2020. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. It's gonna be great. This album has taken out of me more than what I know I have inside. But it has grown with me, and I'm very proud to be able to present where I am to you.
Latoya, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and breaking your session for Talk to Me. I really appreciate it, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. My name is Canute. We talk with Latoya HD. Look out for her stuff. She already have stuff on iTunes. We'll drop some links. And just check her out and just keep
And
going.
other digital platforms.
And other
not
digital.
Just...
Oh yeah, I'm biased to iTunes and Pro Tools.
Yes, there's
You know
Spotify.
what?
There's yes.
Yeah, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal,
all of them.
YouTube.
It's all there.
But check her out. All right. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Get that? Got that?
Do it again.
Right? Stop. I will find no one like you. Deep place in my heart, I will worship. That's the first one. So let's get that.